again.
It's okay.
So yeah, it's yet another episode on Sculpt Quest, and I'm very pleased to have us all tuned in. And as you already know, I am Marvin Tabi Ashu, and I'm not just alone today. I'm here with a very good friend and a client, and I really want to appreciate you for coming,
Oh,
Dr.
welcome.
Ibrahim.
Thank you too for having me here.
So yeah, I'm pleased. So likewise, I'm sure the audience are really going to be pleased with what you're about to share with them.
Yeah.
So I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit, maybe more detailing.
Okay. I'm Dr. Abraham or Ibrahim or Abraham, because my name is more like international. So like my Arab friends, when I tell them Abraham, they're like, oh, Ibrahim. But in Russia, Ukraine, they call me Abraham. Yeah. So anyways, I'm from Nigeria. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, and I lived there until 18 before I moved to Ukraine to further my education and pursue my medical career. Yeah. And I've been living there for a while, for 13 years, if I'm not mistaken.
That's quite long.
Yeah. Got used to the culture, speak the language, mingled with the people, and probably kind of like changed my mentality.
In essence, you're a black Ukrainian.
Exactly. That's what people actually thought, like, speaking the language so good, I'm a doctor, and, I was like, I felt more like home over there.
Okay.
Well, probably due to, the social amenities and the possibility, to pursue this thing. I wish Nigeria was like that, but
we all wish.
Yeah,
we all wish.
Yeah. And I had to move down to Germany due to the war in Ukraine. The Russia-Ukraine war, which was unprovoked, but it was really a challenge. But maybe later
it is.
I will talk about that later.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
So how was it for you to settle in Germany after going through all these things? I know a lot was going through your mind.
It was really, really challenging. It was a big challenge because living a place where you call home and then coming to another land with a different language, different culture.
Right.
Oh, it was a big challenge.
And the German way is a strong way.
And the German, the system,
the square way.
Yeah, the system is in place, and there's nothing you can do to beat the system. So the only thing is just relax, just follow the steps or the process,
the procedure,
the procedure. Yeah,
it's the best way to go about
it. And then, step by step you get there. But the mistake I made was, trying to like, no, I can do that. I'm a doctor. I'm trying to beat the system. And, the system just keeps beating you down. And then the system
is going to humble you, brother.
Yeah, you get tired and then you get depressed. Like, I can't get what I want, until, I spoke with you, my friend. And then you told me about the whole thing. Like, it's just better to calm down, follow the procedure, and
Yeah, and I'm so pleased that you at least managed to acknowledge and took in the advice that you had from me. And this is actually what we do, and I'm pleased that you're out here to share exactly with others your experience to life and all whatnot. So I like you already know, I was fortunate to be born out of wedlock. But for whatever reasons, my parents did not, ended the whole thing together.
Yeah.
But I was lucky, and I'm blessed to have had a supporting system, grandparents, family, and that was there to school me, to cover me, to nurture me to what you see seated here. So I as well understand that there are a lot of people that go through similar situation.
Yeah.
And what I have been through, and on your side, coming from a setup where it was almost like polygamous a structure or family structure, I think there is a lot of closeness even with those single mother situation. So I know that there are things that you must have gone through growing up in the absence of one or a in your life. So we can't really like know a lot by just looking at you. So there are a couple of questions that I would like to ask for you to like give us like an insight on how you grew up and actually what gave you the push to sort out this career to become a doctor and right up to this moment that you are in Germany, you know, all those things. So these are the things that people need to hear so they can pick up and then manage themselves to become a tool like you, like a responsible figure like you, you know. So the first question that I would like to ask is, did you ever feel not having what you deserve from your dad due to, you know, step situation or anything like that?
Well, well, I came up from, my grandfather was a polygamous.
Oh, yeah.
You know, polygamy, sorry. And, you know, being a kid, I didn't really understand. I just like, you know, playing around, my cousins, you know, everyone is around. But, you know, I didn't just really understand until probably when I was 16 or wait, no, sorry, until when I think around that age when I lost my grandpa.
All right.
And then I started seeing different, you know, family members, you know, and like, oh, it's your uncle. And I'm like, wait. I thought my grandma was the only wife of my grandpa, you know.
All right.
And then, you know, being a rich businessman, you know, my uncles came around to get their, you know, share of the cake, you know, and it led to some, you know, what's it called? Misunderstanding and some, well, I say,
division
and infighting. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I was looking for the right word to say, infighting, because some people wanted the best part of the cake, and, you know, and of which I never wanted to, you know, I'm like,
to be a part of that.
a part of it. And, I was really sorry for my dad because, you know, he's the first son. Well, and a lot of disrespect and stuff like that. And, you know, for me, respect is very, very important. I was like, you know, but I could understand this part. Probably he was trying to fight for us, like for his own kids to get a good share and everything. Well, but I grew up in a very disciplined home. My mom was a disciplinarian, like, you know, she brought me up in a way where, like, you have to be patient.
Right.
And everything in this life is a step-by-step thing. You cannot have everything now, but, you know, the ones you're supposed to have at the right time, we give it to you.
Right.
You know, that's why sometimes, you know, growing up as a medical doctor and seeing kids now, you know, doing all sort of things, I'm like, you know, I try to tell parents, you know, because I'm a pediatrician by specialization.
Okay.
And I try to tell them, like, look, you should take mobile phones away from your kid. For example, you know, it's not the time for them to, you know, start, because I never had a mobile phone, even though, it came out then, like with the, you know, Nokia and stuff like that. But my mom didn't buy me the phone. She could, but she's like, no, you don't need this, not at this stage of your life. So I had my first mobile phone after I finished high school, and that was when I was 18. No, actually, I finished high school at 16, and I had my own personal phone, 17.
All right.
Yeah. So, but now you see 10-year-old kids, you know,
all those things.
And I'm like, okay, what's going on with the world right now? And I don't know what's going on in the educational system, because I'm sure now probably they're thinking, or maybe kids actually go to school now with phones and stuff like that, which was forbidden then. So, yeah. So
I think it's a Western thing that people are allowed to walk around. Young people are allowed to go to school with phones just so they can call the police or call ambulance in case of any accident and stuff. So even though it's something that is important, but again, we do abuse it because now it's more like a game thing, an online thing.
And you know, all these online abuses, and now we expose the kids to a lot of threats, because now this so-called social media, the TikTok and the Instagram thing, now, you know, kids doing so many crazy things. And well, sometimes I'm really like shocked by what I see and hear about, you know. I'm like, well, we shouldn't put the blame on social media networks.
We put it on parents.
And we need to put the blames also on the parents, you know, because parents let their kids have access to these things. Because I know growing up in my own family, my parents always watched what we did on the internet, though, and then we had limited time we spent on the internet. probably in a day we had like 30 minutes or 45, if I'm not mistaken, like to spend on the internet. And after that, it's cut off. My mom really encouraged us to read books.
So looking at this situation, right? Yeah. Do you really think that it is more okay? Let me delve into the situation of single parenting.
Yeah.
For the case that dad is not around.
Yeah.
Because I understand that masculinity has a role to play.
Oh,
and if there is that absence of that figure,
yeah,
because men are stronger and kids easily, are scared by the voice of their dad.
Yeah.
So in cases where parents, men are not there, what becomes of those kids? What do you think can really,
That's a very, very good question. Because one thing I always tell, like, I'm a doctor in Europe. I was a doctor in Ukraine. And I see mostly single mothers. And I always tell them, like, for a child, both figures are very, very important.
Okay.
Yeah. And for example, you have a daughter with a single mom, with no dad. It's a very, very bad situation because she understands the mother's past. She's a girl, but she needs that, father figure, the man figure in the family. And, growing up, at first, in their little stage, they don't understand anything. It's like, oh, okay, well, mom. But later, as they grow up, they begin to understand, they begin to feel something is missing in their life. There's a puzzle not missing in their life.
Okay.
And then probably maybe they're bold enough to talk to or ask the mom, I guess, where's my dad or something?
All right.
And in some cases, they go outside looking for the father figure thing, and which now exposes this girl to a lot of violence, a lot of, predators,
right?
People will take advantage of that, and and she just gets messed up and everything.
Do you think this happens as a result of them not being able to cite toxicity in a man?
Well, it's a lot of factor. Yes, because they've not really experienced all the part. I mean, or will I say the 360 of having a man around, the house, the father figure, the friend figure of a father. I mean, because being a father is not just like father to a daughter. You have to be a friend. Also, at the same time, you also have to be like a teacher to correct her when she makes a mistake. You also have to, guide her emotionally, and well, in Africa, spiritually, we go to the church, religion, and stuff like that, and in all sort of ways. So, like being a father figure, like if a girl doesn't have this father figure in the house, I mean, she loses it because she's going out to look for these things which she was supposed to have as a kid, and of course, we like in the world we live in today, we have so many bad people. Well, I say bad, but opportunistic people.
Yeah,
who would actually prey on her just because she's trying to get that thing. So that's why most times we have a lot of abuses to ladies or to young girls trying to, get that figure. But that's why having both figures is always very important, both the dad and the mom. Even though they've separated, it's always good to allow the child, spend some time with the father, no matter the case. I mean, and also with the mother, yeah. Except in cases where maybe one of them is deceased,
Okay.
And then, probably that's another,
another story.
Yeah.